Hello Planet Internet, I am Emperor Cole. This is Emperor Cole Film Review, brought to you by MindBenderEnt.com. And today I'm here to review Jason Bourne, the fifth movie in the Bourne franchise. Everybody, grab your government super spy travel bag and let's get this adventure started. Okay, so Jason Bourne is the fifth movie in the Bourne franchise, and it's actually a return by the director Paul Greengrass. He did the first and third Bourne movies, and once you see the action in this film, which is done very well, you'll understand why fans wanted him to come back to the franchise so bad. Matt Damon also returns back to the franchise in the lead role as Jason Bourne. He took one movie off to allow Jeremy Renner, I believe, to star in The Bourne Legacy, which was actually a decent movie, but it had the knock on it that Matt Damon wasn't in it. Fans are so used to Matt Damon, so people were very happy that he returned back for this particular movie. Paul Greengrass did a great job with the action and the action sequences. They're very elaborate. You can tell they put a lot of time, a lot of thought, and a lot of effort into them. So while this action is popping off the way you expect it to, because obviously this is an action thriller, it's what you came to the theater to actually see. One thing that I found kind of difficult with Paul Greengrass's style of filming, where he often does things handheld and the camera can be kind of shaky. He's got the real quick cuts going back and forth between the action scenes. On some scenes, the camera is so shaky it makes it very difficult to understand who just got punched in the face, who just got kicked, and what's going on.
Well, not that yet. Which one of y'all kicked me?
Usually when you see these action spy thriller movies, there's usually a double cross or two. The movie kind of takes the plot somewhere where you wouldn't expect it. And for this movie, for the most part, and especially compared to some of the Bourne films in the past, the storyline for this film is actually very straightforward. That was a little surprising in a kind of bad way, just because, like I said, I expected more twists and turns in the plot. And the plot is kind of generic. The bad guys in the movie, they're in game for what they're trying to get. It's a little convoluted, but at the same time, it's almost one of those things where it doesn't matter what Jason Bourne did, because this type of thing was already going to be in play regardless. And for what the bad guys are trying to achieve with the storyline at the end, it's kind of basically, it's very similar to Terminator Genesis, also very similar to the television show Persons of Interest. So if you've seen either one of those things and can kind of put together what they kind of have in common, then you understand what the bad guys are going for. These other movies and this TV show came out beforehand, so somebody kind of should have checked and said, hey guys, we're kind of treading into familiar territory. Maybe we should change some things or alter it just a little bit so that it doesn't seem so similar. The acting in this movie is okay. It's decent at certain points, but there are a couple times where some people look like they were just mailing it in. My own personal opinion, I could have did without Tommy Lee Jones in the movie. I believe they should have come up with somebody else to be the leader or director of the bad guys, somebody to replace his character. In this particular movie, I did not enjoy his acting. I thought it was very wooden and just he mailed it in, basically, in my opinion. And then also, I believe Julia Stiles, she plays another character in the beginning. She's got a couple scenes that are supposed to be emotional where she's speaking to Bourne, and I mean, they are terrible. It looks like it's almost a high school play with a kid who didn't want to be in the movie. The thing that's supposed to make us care for our protagonist is something that was a callback to another film. So in other words, they used an emotional event, a tragic moment, something that's already taken place, and that was supposed to be the emotional thing that was supposed to make us feel for him. That was supposed to be his motivation for going after the bad guys and yada yada yada. And I felt like that was kind of generic. The writers and the director, like, they couldn't have come up with something a little bit better, something more unique than just going back to that. And the fact that it already took place in another movie kind of took away from it. You know, it was kind of like, oh, okay. So now, given the fact that the other movie that they reference, even though they show you a flashback clips, this is over 10 years ago, right off the top, unless you're a hardcore Bourne fan, unless you watch all the movies in anticipation for this film, the emotional connection, you just don't really have it like that. So that was another thing that I thought they could have did a little bit better. Bourne's journey, his character development and character arc isn't really there in this film. Granted, this is Matt Damon's fourth time playing this character. We know who Bourne is, but I would have liked to have seen him, maybe it's all these years later, he's been on the run. It would have been great to see that he started a family and started a new identity. Maybe he has a wife and kids, and then things are going on. That would have been kind of like Magneto in X-Men Apocalypse. So if you haven't seen X-Men Apocalypse, yes, that's what was going on with Magneto. If there would have been something like that, I thought that would have worked a little bit better. All right, so let's take this quick break to check out this ad from our sponsor, MindBender Entertainment. Remember, the future is now.
Man, I have to go to MindBenderEMT.com like 10 times a day. It has everything, man.
Everything?
And you can even access it through your phone.
I gotta see this.
And the ladies love it. Oh!
Yeah, I can't see about this right now.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's it. Oh!
It was you.
It was you.
What is all this commotion? Don't tell me it's our website again. Not again.
But the ladies love it.
The ladies love it.
Ladies love it.
The ladies love it.
Oh man, the ladies love it. Love that commercial. Make sure you check out MindBenderENT.com. So this is a very good movie. It's entertaining. It's got some fun. It's got a lot of action. But I was expecting a little bit more from it. Since this was Matt Damon and Paul Greengrass's return to the Bourne franchise, I was expecting a little bit more from this film. It's a very serviceable film. It's a good action flick, but it does have a couple very generic tropes that are laced into the film, where I felt like the writers and the director could have done a little bit more to be a little more unique in the movie. This is a very solid film. It's very enjoyable. So I'm going to have to give Jason Bourne a score of 75%. 75% on the MindBender Movie Meter score, the new Jason Bourne movie. Okay, so this has been Emperor Cole Film Review for Jason Bourne. If you enjoyed this review, please subscribe to his YouTube channel. Please make sure to check us out on Facebook at Facebook.com/MindBender Entertainment. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at MindBenderENT. And also make sure you check out the website, MindBenderENT.com. Also, feel free to share this video anywhere where sharing is allowed. Remember, the future is now.
You know why I win. I whoop your head, boy. With the back of the steel. I whoop your head, boy. Your cap can get peeled. I whoop your head, boy. Your ass can get killed. I whoop your head, boy. You know why I win. I whoop your head, boy. With the back of the steel. I whoop your head.